lawsuits challenging hemp laws reflect new cannabis rift. And this story dates back to long before anybody knew what THC was. Because 100 years ago, when you smoked hemp, you knew it was hemp. When you smoked Indian hemp, you knew it was hot hemp. And when they finally figured out what THC was, they screwed the pooch, and they continue to screw the pooch. As in the 2018 Farm Bill, they exempted hemp from the Controlled Substances Act, and they used the specific term delta 9 THC, which is an organic molecule on the ninth bonding site. And so everything else that flows from the hemp plant, including all the cannabinoids, were taken out of the Controlled Substances Act. Now, several years ago, people thought CBD was going to be all that in a bag of chips, and it fell flat on its face because, again, smoking hemp, you go, that's not weed, I don't want to smoke it anymore. So they Delta 8, which is one of the natural isomers that comes out of the cannabis plant, but in very small amounts. But you can manufacture it. So hemp manufacturers began to pump out products with Delta 8 THC in it, which by definition is not cannabis or marijuana. So states began to jump into this because the federal government wouldn't take any action. The FDA said they would do something about this, but they sat on their thumbs. And so Delta 8 now is in competition with Delta 9 THC. And so the hemp and the cannabis industries are now fighting over turf, and states are getting involved. Now, one of the leading cases came out of California in 2022. And I had to go back and look at the exact date that the legislature changed the hemp manufacturing laws in California, but it was right around this time. And the owner of the brand Cake took a bunch of manufacturers to court in federal court for trademark infringement, unfair business practices, a bunch of things like that. And at that point in time, what came in front of the court was an injunction, a temporary injunction to stop these manufacturers from making Delta 8 products and selling them under the Cake name. So the court said, well, I'm looking at the hemp regulation from the 2018 Farm Bill, and it says that if it's got less than 0.3% Delta 9 THC, it's hemp, and all the cannabinoids that come from that. Oh, sorry, it looks like the owner of the Cake brand is going to prevail here, and we're going to issue temporary restraining order stopping all these companies from manufacturing this. Well, that got appealed to the Ninth Circuit here in California. We got a decision out of it that said, I don't care what the DEA says, the clear meaning of clear language in the 2018 Farm Bill says if it's got less than 0.3% Delta 9 THC, it's hemp. So get out of here. Okay? And so we're left with a void. Now, California changed this, and they included all THC, all types of delta cannabinoids. Every one of those is now covered by our cannabis statutes in California. So you have to have a cannabis license to do it. But other states have taken different approaches. And in the states that don't have recreational and medical statutes, it's just the Wild West. Anything that you can put into your corner stop and rob is going to be okay. And so we have a continuing battle here because the Congress has not stepped up to fix this. And in our Supreme Court, there's some tendencies right now to send these administrative decisions back to Congress. So I expect that no matter what happens here in the courts, it's going to be punted back to Congress to try to fix this problem, because the definitions they came up with, they had rectal myopia when they put them up there. If you just talk to an organic chemist, he could tell you we can take CBD and turn it into any damn cannabinoid we want. You better figure out a better way to define this, or all of these, you call them intoxicating cannabinoids, these intoxicating THC cannabinoids are going to be just out there all over the place, and you're not going to be able to stop them. Now, the Farm Bill is typically reevaluated every 5 years, which means we're 5 years out from 2018. Okay? And so you would expect Congress to do something, but right now, Congress has its head up his ass about 4 feet. He can't even get a Speaker of the House. So to think that we're going to solve this problem in this Congress, I think is wishful thinking. But this is going to continue. Um, Courts are going to make decisions, but they can't make legislation. They can only strike parts of legislation out. This is going to have to be solved by Congress, and God only knows when that's going to happen or what kind of a mess they're going to make out of this. So that's my story for this morning. Let me kick it back to all of you. What do y'all got to say?
I think they're going to make a bigger mess out of it than it already is, Dale. But I do think too that it doesn't make a lot of sense for states to start enacting any of these types of laws when the farm bill is going to be is up for revision this year and is going to be coming out with a whole new version of it. And I feel like they should just put a pause on all these decisions until that comes out, so then that way they know how to steer.
You know that can't happen, Jason.
I,
Local legislators need to look like they're being proactive. They can't act like they're doing nothing. They can't just be doing
yeah, but
absolutely
then they're gonna
anything and ignoring.
then they're gonna end up having to do the work all over again once the farm bill
I mean,
comes
I
out.
understand what you're saying. I do think that waiting for the Farm Bill makes the most sense, but there are communities that feel very strongly affected by this, and let's be really honest, there is a lot of shitty Delta 8 and whatever
Mm-hmm.
products out there right now. There are.
For sure.
There's a lot of swill out there. I mean, I've even over the years done my fair share of pulling products off the shelf from the side of the market and taking it to labs and finding that there's not even anything in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it is a Wild West situation, of course, and your stuff
Yeah.
from local licensed places because they have test results to prove that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
No
I
kidding.
think I think I think this goes back to just government being fundamentally broken. I know a lot of people on our team. I won't call out names right now. They're like, "Oh, this is how government works: incremental change. This, at least we got something done." But the system is fundamentally flawed, and our government continues to put half-baked, half-assed laws out there, half legalizing stuff, half legalizing, half criminalizing other things,
How do you know that's not
and
just
constantly
how do you know that's just not
is
to
constantly
implore the entrepreneurial spirit?
is constantly causing problems down the line that you're going to have. And then we're in a situation right now when your side of the government can't even put together a leader, and we can't even push
We
forward
actually
any.
did get a leader last night. Nice try. Nice try, Rico. Nice try.
To Emmer.
No, not Emmer. Different guy. I forget his name. I can pull it up. Give me a second.
Yeah, you don't even know his name.
I
Louise
forget
Forget
his
his
Graham.
name.
name. All that.
I forget
and,
Google.
his
and,
name.
and will he get all the votes?
He got enough votes to my understanding.
No, he got enough votes to move forward with the vote overall, but will he get all of the votes needed to move forward? That's
Yes.
that's still a question mark.
I'm
And we
sure he
wouldn't even
will.
be in this situation if it wasn't for government being fundamentally broken. And this is why I'm all like yo, like I won't back down on that safe banking thing because it is not going to fix a lot of stuff that are fundamentally flawed with us going forward.
His name
Anti-recidivism issues.
his name is Mike
Um, um,
Johnson. His name is Mike Johnson, just so you know. And he is what is known
Sounds
as
like a
the
made up name.
speaker designee. Okay? That is his official title as of right
We'll
now.
see if he gets all the votes because yeah, y'all can't even agree on anything.
His
But
stance on
government is
cannabis.
fundamentally,
I love
yeah,
that he
and
has the
the
most
single
generic
farm
name,
bill,
Michael Johnson.
He's a
right,
fundamentalist Christian, Mandy. Take a guess.
Eh,
right, right. Like the country's broken,
mm,
the laws are
delightful.
broken, and fundamentally flawed from the beginning. It should have been cannabis overall. It shouldn't have been hemp,
Mm-hmm.
because hemp is cannabis. Period. And so you're gonna always have all these little
True.
loopholes that people are gonna try to shut. And you have all this reefer madness creeping in there. Like follow the science that we have. If we want to be the number one country when it comes to science, it comes to business, comes to all that stuff. Yo, we have numbers, we have science backed research going back decades. Use that and build laws around that, not just a bunch of people saying, "Oh yeah, these people are really really upset, and they're in my constituency group. I'm gonna push this forward. I'm gonna ram this forward." Like it's fundamentally flawed. It's a good old boy system, and we're gonna continue to have issues going forward.